This program is presented by the Sarawak Tourism Board. Sarawak, the gateway to Borneo.
Selamat berjumpa lagi and welcome to ASEAN Today. I'm Raissa Chentami of the Indonesia channel in Jakarta.
สวัสดีค่ะ I'm Nad Bunnag of Thai PBS World in Bangkok, and this is your weekly look at the dynamic Southeast Asia region. ASEAN and the European Union are strengthening ties as global uncertainty grows. The 25th ASEAN-EU Ministerial Meeting wrapped up in Brunei on April 28th with a strong push to deepen strategic ties between the two regions. Leaders reaffirmed their commitment to a rules-based international system, emphasizing peace, stability, and shared global values. Economic cooperation took center stage, with Indonesia urging progress on a long-anticipated comprehensive economic partnership agreement. The ministers also stressed the importance of safeguarding maritime routes, ensuring freedom of navigation, and protecting critical infrastructure. Amid rising geopolitical tensions, both sides pledged closer coordination with the Global South to maintain an open and fair international order.
Here in Indonesia, a deadly train collision has killed at least 16 people and injured dozens others. The crash on April 27th happened when a long-distance train slammed into the back of a stationary commuter line at a level crossing. The commuter train had stopped after an earlier incident involving a taxi on the tracks. At least 90 people were injured, with dozens treated and discharged from hospital. All the fatalities were passengers on the commuter train. Indonesia's Transport Ministry has launched an investigation, including into the taxi company involved in the initial incident. President Prabowo Subianto has blamed unsafe level crossings and ordered nationwide upgrades, including the construction of guard posts and flyovers. Around 240 passengers on the long-distance train were safely evacuated. The tragedy marks one of the country's deadliest rail accidents in recent years and highlights ongoing safety challenges across Indonesia's rail network. Former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte is set to stand trial for crimes against humanity after international judges confirmed charges tied to his controversial war on drugs. The International Criminal Court says there are substantial grounds to believe Duterte was responsible for extrajudicial killings that left thousands dead between 2011 and 2019. The former president has been in detention for more than a year and has repeatedly challenged the court's authority. Duterte argues the Philippines' withdrawal from the ICC in 2019 means the court has no jurisdiction. But judges ruled the case can proceed since the alleged crimes occurred while the country was still a member. More than 500 victims have also been authorized to take part in the proceedings, marking a major step towards accountability in one of Southeast Asia's deadliest anti-drug campaigns.
3 Thai crew members who went missing after a vessel attack in the Strait of Hormuz have now been confirmed dead. Thailand's foreign minister says the crewmen were found in the damaged engine room of the Thai-flagged cargo ship Mayuri Nari, which was struck in March while transiting the strategic waterway. The attack came amid escalating conflict after U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran triggered retaliation from Tehran, including assaults on commercial vessels. Iran's Revolutionary Guards claimed responsibility, saying the ship ignored warnings. 20 crew members were rescued and returned home, while 3 had been missing since the incident. Thai officials say efforts are underway to secure safe passage for other stranded vessels. The incident underscores the growing risks to global trade as geopolitical tensions intensify in the region. A massive overnight fire has devastated a coastal community in Malaysia, leaving thousands homeless. A blaze tore through a densely packed water village in Sandakan on April 19th, destroying around 1,000 makeshift homes built on wooden stilts. Authorities say the fire spread rapidly due to strong winds and the close proximity of the houses, while low tide made it harder for firefighters to access water. More than 30 personnel were deployed, but narrow access routes delayed efforts to contain the flames. Police estimate over 9,000 residents have been affected. Despite the scale of destruction, officials report no injuries or fatalities. Malaysia's Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim says the government is now working with local authorities to provide emergency aid and temporary shelter. Thailand's love affair with sugary drinks is big business, but it's also becoming a public health concern. Now, the government is stepping in, pushing major coffee chains to cut sugar levels, a move that could reshape one of the country's fastest growing beverage markets. ASEAN Today's Apsi Suri reports.
From iced coffees to bubble teas, Thailand's beverage scene is booming, but it's also getting a lot less sweet. At a packed industry announcement in Bangkok, major coffee chains unveiled a new approach, cutting sugar content in popular drinks by up to half. It's part of a government-backed initiative to redefine what normal sweetness means.
กรมอนามัยจึงได้ต่อยอดสู่การกำหนดมาตรฐานความหวังใหม่ของเครื่องดื่มชงในประเทศไทยภายใต้นโยบายหวานปกติเท่ากับหวาน 50% โดยได้รับความร่วมมือจากสมาคมกาแฟไทยและผู้ประกอบการธุรกิจเครื่องดื่มชงรายสำคัญ
Thailand's consumers are among the region's biggest sugar users. Health officials say the average Thai consumes around 21 teaspoons of sugar a day, more than 3 times the World Health Organization's recommended limit, and much of that comes from drinks. A typical iced coffee can contain 9 teaspoons of sugar, while a single serving of bubble milk tea can reach 12 teaspoons. That has real economic consequences. Rising rates of obesity, now affecting around 45% of adults, and diabetes, impacting about 1 in 10 Thais, are driving up healthcare costs and putting pressure on public systems. For businesses, the question is how to adapt without losing customers. Across cafes, baristas are already adjusting recipes, cutting back sugar while trying to maintain the flavors that built loyal followings.
Sweet to me. Sometimes I feel like if I drink a lot of Thai drink, it feels like so very sweet.
Some, like Serena, are already ahead of the curve, ordering drinks at reduced sugar levels. But for others, the transition may take time. While 9 major chains have signed on, the rollout is far from uniform. Brands are free to apply the guidelines as they see fit, often limiting sugar cuts to select menu items. That flexibility could help businesses ease into the change, but it may also create confusion for consumers trying to navigate new sweetness levels. Still, industry analysts say the direction is clear. As health awareness rises across Southeast Asia, demand is shifting toward lower sugar options, opening the door for product innovation, reformulation, and new market segments. For Thailand's beverage giants, the challenge now is balancing taste, transparency, and trust. Because in a market built on indulgence, cutting sugar may be good for health, but it's also a test of how far consumers are willing to change. Apsi Suri for ASEAN Today.
More ASEAN Today is coming up shortly.
Global leaders weigh their next moves amid rising tensions. That's next. You're watching ASEAN Today. I'm Nad Bunnag in Bangkok.
And I'm Raissa Chentami in Jakarta. From Jakarta to the world, global leaders are closely tracking the U.S.-Israel tensions with Iran. While countries maintain a careful stance of non-interference, a deeper shift is underway with how the region views its ties with Washington. Here are words from leaders in the hot seat.
We are all deeply concerned about the ongoing conflict in the Middle East and the continued closure of the Strait of Hormuz. Asia is particularly exposed to the energy disruptions given our heavy reliance on imported energy. As Singapore will do our part to strengthen regional resilience in the face of these disruptions. As a trading nation, we will facilitate the continued flow of essential goods through Singapore by keeping our ports and trading links open, just as we did during the COVID pandemic. As a maritime hub, we will continue to uphold the navigational rights and freedoms enshrined in the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, which enable the steady flow of global trade across critical sea lanes. As an oil trading and refinery export hub, we will do whatever we can to secure alternative upstream feedstock so that our industry can continue to supply refined fuel products to markets around the world. But as has been mentioned just now, no country can secure its energy needs on its own. Resilience must be built collectively. And that's why Singapore values the mutual support and assurance from trusted partners, including Australia, Japan, and all our partners in ASEAN. At the same time, we must look beyond the immediate crisis to prepare for future shocks. So Singapore supports the upgrade of the Asia Zero Emission Community, or AZEC, to AZEC 2.0, with a stronger focus on strengthening economic and energy resilience in our region. This does not mean stepping back from AZEC's original goal of achieving net zero emissions. Rather, it reflects a clear recognition that energy security and decarbonization must go hand in hand. And so we should continue to press on with efforts for energy efficiency, to diversify our energy sources, and to make our systems more resilient against any potential disruptions.
This is a win-win. That is why Prime Minister Wong and I have just signed the joint statement that will protect our mutual energy security and to support the flow of fuels and LNG between our two countries. Well, I want to see the resumption of peace talks. We want to see an end to this conflict. It's having a devastating impact on the global economy, and the longer it goes, the bigger the impact will be and the longer the tail will be as well. And so we want to see an end to the conflict. We've made that very clear for some time. Well, we've had an agreement from Singapore that two-way trade will continue to flow between Australia and Singapore. Singapore provides about 25% of our refined fuel. We provide about 32% of LNG needs for Singapore. Brunei is an important partner as well. They provide about 9% of our diesel. They're also a major supplier of fertiliser, which is an issue as well, of course, as a result of this conflict. And Malaysia is the third biggest supplier of fuel to Australia. So these are important countries. I'll be meeting with the Sultan of Brunei and Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim of Malaysia. I have very good relations with both of them, and we have good country-to-country relations. The investment, frankly, that we have made in building up our relationships with ASEAN countries over the last 4 years, this is why you engage with partners in our region. And one of the themes of this is that people recognise that we've got to work together at this difficult time.
Perang di Timur Tengah itu membuktikan satu selat Hormuz itu menentukan hidupnya banyak bangsa, menentukan harga minyak. Satu selat 33 mile. Berapa itu? 60 kilo. Yang sekarang di kuncinya Hormuz itu dipegang oleh satu negara. Tapi sadarkah kita bahwa 70% kebutuhan energinya Asia Timur, 70% energi dan 70% perdagangan lewat laut Indonesia. Apa yang kita alami sekarang? Krisis yang terjadi di Timur Tengah yang membuat harga energi menjulang. Sebenarnya kita harus yakini dan kita harus syukuri bahwa kondisi bangsa kita berada dalam kondisi yang jauh lebih baik dari bangsa-bangsa lain. Saya telah mempelajari data-data angka-angka dan dalam kesempatan hari ini saya kira ada kesempatan yang baik di mana saya setelah saya mempelajari angka-angka, dapat laporan dari menteri-menteri saya, ternyata kondisi kita cukup aman. Ada tantangan, ada kesulitan, tapi kita mampu menghadapi dan mampu mengatasinya.
The Straits of Hormuz have been effectively closed for nearly 7 weeks. Global energy markets are under severe stress, supply chains are disrupted, and the consequences are plummeting through the 7 seas. When supply chains are disrupted and food prices are increasing and rising, agreements like these have a direct impact on people's lives. The distance between a signed agreement and a family's dinner table is shorter than most people imagine. I also wish to touch on Palestine. There is a ceasefire in Gaza, but let us be honest about what that has meant so far. The killings have not stopped. The hunger has not ceased. In the West Bank, settlements continue to expand and violence continues to escalate with utter impunity. The world must not avert its gaze and allow a ceasefire to become the silence of the grave. What the Palestinian people need is a just and lasting solution, and that means a viable sovereign state. Malaysia will not waver on this matter of principle and conscience.
Regarding the Strait of Hormuz, Iran has announced its readiness to reopen it, which is a positive development. We have been working for several weeks to mobilize our partners in Asia, Europe, and the region. Around 15 countries are currently mobilized and participating in the planning, led by France, to enable the implementation of a strictly defensive mission in coordination with Iran, when the conditions are right, to facilitate the resumption of maritime traffic.
The world is now witnessing exceptional circumstances, and in exceptional circumstances, decisions are also exceptional. The world needs more production due to the terrorist closure carried out by Iran of this strait, taking the world hostage. This closure has led to a significant depletion of global oil strategic reserves.
The three countries manning the Straits of Malacca, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, are countries that are strongly upholding the principle of the United Nations, free flow of trade as well as free navigation around the area. So unless one of the three countries adopt a stand which is hostile to and will jeopardize the economy of the world, then maybe. But the situation are not the same. So don't equate the Straits of Malacca similar to the Straits of Hormuz. Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, we are a country that abides by the rule of law, international law.
For Southeast Asia, the message is clear. Neutrality remains, but dependence is no longer a given. More ASEAN Today is coming up shortly.
New U.S. restrictions leave immigrant families in limbo. That's next.
Aku ngelihat bahwa masih banyak hewan peliharaan yang itu tuh masih menggunakan produk-produk manusia, dan aku menginisiasi Anima supaya bisa menghasilkan obat-obatan untuk hewan. Ikut program ASEAN Donation itu di pertengahan tahun gitu. Waktu aku konsultasikan, mereka sangat mendukung gitu kan untuk bisa mengekspansi pasar ini ke luar Jabodetabek atau luar Jawa lah gitu kan.
Setiap organisasi memiliki potensi yang besar yang menunggu untuk dibangkitkan. Pradaim didirikan oleh para ahli bersertifikasi. Kami hadir untuk mengembangkan mindset dan keterampilan manusia dengan kurikulum custom, interactive learning, dan metode coaching yang relevan dengan kebutuhan perusahaan. Hasilnya adalah perubahan nyata dalam performa, komunikasi, dan budaya kerja.
Paradigm. We don't teach, we educate.
This is ASEAN Today.
And we are coming to you this week from Bangkok and Jakarta. For many immigrant families, the American dream is now on hold as new U.S. immigration restrictions leave loved ones separated and uncertain. ASEAN Today's Fawaz Narendra has the story.
Inside a small store in Indianapolis, shelves filled with products from Myanmar offers a sense of home, thousands of miles away. But for owner Zing Sung, that connection now comes with growing concern and heartbreak.
It's sad because my people, they don't have house, they don't have to eat, nothing. So if they cannot come to the United States or somewhere, it's hard to live. They will be, dying or die something.
The Trump administration has paused all immigration applications, including green cards and citizenship, for people from 19 countries deemed high risk. The move expands an earlier travel ban and follows a deadly shooting involving U.S. National Guard troops, prompting a sweeping review of immigration policies. But for communities like Sung's, the policy is more than politics, it's personal.
They want to come, but now the immigration is closed, they cannot come.
Sung immigrated to the United States in 2005. Today, her entire immediate family is there, but others remain in Myanmar, a country still gripped by conflict and instability. Back inside her shop, shelves of familiar foods and even a Bible in her native language serve as reminders of the life left behind.
My whole family is here. My mom, my dad, my sister, all family is here. I have 2 kids with one husband.
Under the new policy, applications from affected countries are frozen indefinitely, with no clear timeline for when they may resume. Officials say cases will undergo further review, including additional screening and interviews, before any decisions are made. For many, that means waiting without answers.
I feel very sorry, but I cannot do anything about the government.
Outside, life goes on. But for families caught between borders, the future remains uncertain, caught in the balance of policy, politics, and hope. Fawaz Narendra for ASEAN Today.
Here are several events on the ASEAN calendar. Singapore's Dragon Boat Festival will hit the water on June 18th at Bedok Reservoir. Malaysia follows with the Rainforest World Music Festival from June 26th to the 28th in Sarawak. And in Indonesia, the Bali Arts Festival will run from June 13th to July 11th, celebrating traditional dance, music, and culture across the island. An ancient symbol of Southeast Asia's shared heritage is now at the center of a modern conflict. 4 months after a ceasefire between Cambodia and Thailand, the damage to Preah Vihear Temple is coming into sharper focus. ASEAN Today's Wendy Widiantini takes us there.
Perched high on a cliff along the Cambodia-Thailand border, Preah Vihear Temple has stood for nearly 1,000 years. Today, it stands scarred. Stone walls are cracked, ancient carvings shattered, and craters from artillery strikes now mark what was once a sacred site. The 11th century temple, built during the Khmer Empire, the same civilizations behind Angkor Wat, has long been a source of both pride and dispute. Designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2008, it has also been at the center of decades-long border tensions between Cambodia and Thailand. But last year's renewed fighting left unprecedented destruction. Cambodian officials say the temple has suffered damage in more than 500 locations, including 142 impact points in July, and over 420 more during intense clashes in December 2025.
ការខូចខាតបើយើងវិតម្លៃរួមហើយចូល 80% បាទ 80% នៃការខូចខាតនៃប្រាសាទរបស់យើងព្រោះវាពិបាកណាស់ព្រោះពេលមុនផលប៉ះពាល់គឺយើងបាន survey យើងបានរៀបចំចងក្រងទិន្នន័យឯកសារគ្រប់គ្រាន់ក្នុងការរៀបចំធ្វើការជួសជុលត្រឡប់ទៅវិញក៏ប៉ុន្តែក្នុងរយៈពេលដែលផ្ទុះអាវុធនេះដែលគាត់បំផ្លាញប្រាសាទរបស់វាយើងនេះឥឡូវនឹងធ្វើឲ្យយើងពិបាក
At the exact location where tourists once walked through towering gateways and admired sweeping views of the plains below, there is now debris, ash, and silence. Unexploded artillery shells remain scattered across the temple, while warning signs for landmines, a grim reminder of Cambodia's past conflicts, fill the area. Even restoration efforts are now at risk.
គឺពីពិបាកមែនតែកន្លែងខ្លះស្ត្រឹកឈើមួយចំនួនរចនាសម្ព័ន្ធប្រាសាទមួយចំនួនគឺកលនឹងរលំហើយឥឡូវយើងអ្នកជំនាញការបច្ចេកទេសទៅលើការជួសជុលហ្នឹងគឺវាតម្លៃហើយថាក្នុងពេលរដូវភ្លៀងខាងមុខនេះប្រហែលជាអាចមានកន្លែងមួយចំនួននឹងរលំធ្លាក់
All 5 of the temple's iconic gateway pavilions have been damaged, 3 of them nearly beyond recognition. A restored northern staircase, once supported by international conservation efforts, has also taken heavy hits. On the ground, conservation workers and troops remain stationed nearby with Thai forces visible just across the border. For Cambodia, the damage is not just structural, it is cultural, a piece of history caught in the crossfire of modern geopolitics. Wendy Widiantini for ASEAN Today.
We like hearing from you throughout the ASEAN region and the world. All of our episodes are posted on YouTube, so check us out there if you can't find us on your local TV channel. Then let us know what you're thinking or what you want to see on the program. Email us at aseantodaytv@gmail.com, post something on our Facebook page, or tweet us at @ASEANTodayTV. From the deserts of California to the global music stage, Southeast Asian artists are turning up the volume at Coachella, and the world is finally listening. For years, Coachella was dominated by Western acts, but now Southeast Asia is stealing the spotlight in a big way. Leading the charge is Thai superstar Raissa, who made history with Blackpink in 2019 before returning as a solo act in 2026. From the Philippines, girl group BINI is riding the playbook, becoming the first all-Filipino group to perform at Coachella and igniting what fans call a Philippine wave. Indonesia is also making serious noise with artists like Nicki, Rich Brian, and Warren Hugh taking the stage. And Thailand's Millie, she went viral worldwide just by eating mango sticky rice on stage. From viral moments to billion-stream careers, Southeast Asian artists aren't just performing, they're reshaping global pop culture. And that's ASEAN Today for this week. Terima kasih. I'm Raissa Chentami of the Indonesia channel in Jakarta.
And I'm Nad Bunnag of Thai PBS World in Bangkok, Thailand. Thank you for watching. Please join us again next time for ASEAN Today.
This program is presented by the Sarawak Tourism Board. Sarawak, the gateway to Borneo.